Hello and welcome. This is Project Healing Waters, Fayetteville, North Carolina program, and today's fly is the blowtorch. This is one fly that we're doing in, one of two flies that we're doing in March, and I felt that this was a really cool fly. Had a lot of different materials added, and I think it would be a great benefit for my class that I teach. One, for doing a thread wrapped over tail. We're using dubbing. We're using wire. We are using two different dubbings. I'm sorry. And then bringing a collar. So let's get started with the materials. The hook I'm using is it's called, I ordered from Jay Stockard. The company was Lightning Strike. It's a jig hook, size 14. The size bead we're using is it's tungsten slotted, and the diameter is a 1/8. The tail that we're using is Glow Bright, and it's number 5, and the color is orange number 5. The wire we are using is it's a brassy wire, and ultra wire, brassy, color red. Then we're going to get into the dubbings, which they're both ice dubbings. And the body is peacock black, and then the collar is UV pink. The thread we are using is a 6/0 color red. Okay, so let's get started. First thing we want to do is set our hook in. And we want to start the thread right behind the eye of the hook. And you don't have to worry about building a thread dam. I used to spend a lot of thread building it up behind here to create a thread dam, but as you can look at this, we're building we're putting a collar, which would be our natural thread dam, and I really don't think it matters that much either at all. Okay, so let's go ahead and take the thread and bring it about midway. And then we're going to take a piece of our Glow Bright, and what we want to do is we want to wrap it on itself to create 3 strands, like so. Okay. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to create 3 strands. And essentially all I did is I just halved it. Brought one half to the middle, and then I brought the other half to the middle. So now what we want to do is we want to cut these fibers and make them even for ease of tying in. Okay, so I'm going to tie it in here. Make sure we got it good. Doesn't matter if it rolls off to the side, because we're going to manipulate it here to stay on top of the shank. And with this fly, we do not want to go all the way to the bend. Probably just assume that there's envision a barb down there, and then that's where you want to stop with the thread. Now what we want to do is we want to take our scissors, put them at the bend of the hook, and there's your tail. Now I'm going to carry my thread forward, just 3 or 4 wraps, and now we want to tie in our wire. And the wire I have is a red wire. I'm going to tie this in to where it stays on the side of the shank, and don't need touching wraps. You just want to make sure it's nice and secure to the shank. And then back here, just make sure we are at our stopping point. So now I'm going to grab some of the black Peacock ice dub, and we are just getting a tiny amount, tiny amount, and create a dubbing needle. And just roll it on there. Make sure you don't have any crazy fibers coming off to where you have to trim this after you're done with it. And so now we're just going to take it and we're just going to build up that body. The blowtorch, I'm sorry, this isn't the this is the improved blowtorch. But it has a skinny body. It doesn't, we're not creating flies that are pregnant. So just make sure it's got a nice skinny body. And right there. And we're just going to bring it forward, pop that bead up. And I think we're good. I want to make sure that that's all the way up. I'm going to put just a tad bit more. And this is literally like maybe 2 or 3 fibers. Don't want to over dub this. Okay. And that may have been a little too much, but that's alright. Okay. Now what we want to do is we want to take our wire and we're going to counter wrap. And the reason for this is it secures our dubbing. And we are just going to do 4 to 5 wraps. So I've got a total of 4 in here. Go in that up there. And then we're just going to do a couple wraps to secure it. Don't build up the thread too much. Okay. Now I've got my, there's a little some dubbing that I don't like. Got my wire scissors. You could helicopter it off, but I've used these scissors so much that I had to get some new ones, so now they're my wire scissors. So now what we want to do is we want to grab our CDC feather. I don't know if I mentioned that it was the CDC, but this the Fulling Mill is premium, and the feather I'm using is tan. I don't know if I mentioned that in the beginning or not, but essentially this is what we have. You can pull fibers from one side, or you can cut them. I choose to cut mine because I just tend to find that I waste a lot of feathers because they tear on me. So after cutting it, this is, you can barely see it because it's, but I've stripped it from one side. And so what we want to do is we want to create kind of like a Christmas tree on the tip. And tie this in. I'm going to bring my thread back a little bit because we want to make room for the collar. Okay. Sure I'm not getting too much fibers. Okay. And just a couple wraps to keep it there. Now I'm going to trim away my excess. And now grab your hackle pliers and begin to wrap. And we're only wrapping this like 2 times. Yeah, maybe not, because it won't stay. So I'm going to take these wraps out. And we'll try it again. Yeah, I don't think it's leaving now. Okay, so now let's trim that excess off. And again, we're just going to wrap it 2 times. And we'll do the first wrap. Put these fibers backwards. And then I'm going to come back. And here we are. And now we're going to tie it in. And be careful not to capture all these fibers. I'm just going to put one more wrap in that and then be done with it. And I'm going to cut it. Okay. And I don't know, yeah, you can see them. Yep, that's pretty good. So now we just want to make sure these fibers are going back. And this is where we're going to put in our collar. And I see one fiber coming off here. Okay, and as for the collar, we're going to be using this pink dubbing. And essentially, you just need a tiny, tiny little piece. And it's going to go around maybe twice. There we go. And then don't have to overuse the thread. I'm going to come up in here and we're going to put a whip finish. And I'm only doing 2 because I'm going to come back and I am going to add super glue. So now what we want to do is we want to get in here and we just want to trim these fibers. And you don't want to do all at once because they'll all be the same size. Got some. Yep, there you go. And just come in and snip them. And you can pluck them if you want. I tried that, but was very unsuccessful because I pulled them out of the damn fly. But there is our blowtorch. This will certainly work for Western North Carolina. Excited to. This is the improved blowtorch. I'm sorry. And we will be tying this up next in March, and we'll probably be using it in March because we've got a trip out there. I'm not sure March. I think we are going to be on in Stone Mountain and the Mitchell. So we're excited to go. I think we got a huge group of people who are looking to go. So this is Project Healing Waters, Fayetteville, North Carolina program, and this fly is the improved blowtorch. If you have any questions, please comment in the comment section, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. If you like what you've seen, please hit the like button, and if you have any fellow veterans out there or fly fishers, you're certainly more than welcome to share it. This is We're not making any money off of this. This is just for information purposes and pointing people into fly fishing and fly tying. Thanks for watching. This is Project Healing Waters, Fayetteville, North Carolina, signing off.